Hello, my name is Suzanne Reitsma. I am Program Manager e-mobility at the Netherlands Enterprise Agency, which is an implementing organization of the Dutch central government. And I've worked in the field of e-mobility for the last 8 years. And back then, 8 years ago, we were already happy to stimulate pilot projects with converted passenger cars and just some charging poles. And right now in the Netherlands we have over 180,000 electric vehicles and a vast network of charging infrastructure. I think the main motivation is that it fits perfectly into the energy transition. The Netherlands has signed the Paris Agreement, and therefore we have to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions with 49% in the next years until 2030. And this means we have to act in all areas, from our renewable energy production to the cars we drive in. And well, next to this, it fits in the policy of a lot of municipalities. They are having problems with the air quality, and e-mobility can help to reduce the pollution. And well, last thing, but also important in the Netherlands, is that we see that it can contribute to our economics. We see a growing market on e-mobility. And in the Netherlands we don't produce many passenger cars, but we are great in charging infrastructure and services, also in production of electric buses, trucks, light electric vehicles. And we deliver parts to other countries, such as battery management systems. Yes, I see links with different policy fields. As I explained, the economic field, we see a real growth in the number of jobs in the field of e-mobility, and it's been 40% year-to-year growth in number of jobs. But I also see a link with future mobility. You can see that all self-driving cars use electric drivetrains. And I think that once our cars can drive themselves, they will be able to charge themselves as well. And this will mean that we have a lot of possibilities to redesign the world we live in if we can park the cars out of our streets. And then we have the energy domain. I think e-mobility is the linking pin between mobility and the energy domain. And we have to, do this in a smart way. Otherwise, we will increase a peak demand in electricity. For example, when we arrive at home in the evening, we plug in our vehicle and then we step into our house that is heated then as well with electricity. And we start cooking on electricity, then the peak demand will increase rapidly. And we try to avoid this to save costs and to make sure that we don't have to expand the energy network more than necessary. And we do this with smart charging. In the Netherlands, we therefore have a large program on smart charging. It's called the Smart Charging Living Lab. Over the past years, the Dutch government has taken different set of policy measures. For example, to stimulate innovation of vehicles and their use, we have subsidy schemes. To stimulate the purchase of electric cars, we have fiscal measures, which makes it's less expensive to buy electric vehicle. And we cooperate with municipalities to install a lot of charging poles so that it keeps in pace with the number of electric vehicles in the Netherlands. And together with companies, branch organizations, also science, NGOs, we work to, we signal barriers and then we try to solve them. Yes, the Dutch government will switch to electric vehicles. We have a goal set And the goal is that we want to have 20% electric vehicles in the government fleet by 2020. The Rijkswaterstaat, who is an implementing organization of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Water Management, will have 200 electric vehicles by the end of this year. And for my own company, Netherlands Enterprise Agency, it's difficult to participate because we don't have any cars, so we all use public transport. It's very typical to the Dutch approach to cooperate with private stakeholders, and it's very important to us. Well, important in the Netherlands is the Formula E team. It's a platform of stakeholders from branch organizations, grid operators, science, municipalities, provinces, NGOs, etc. So it's a broad range of expertise that's in the platform. And together with them, we discuss e-mobility. They give advice to the central government how to implement e-mobility. And they also have different task forces, like a task force on charging infrastructure, communication, and international collaboration. So they really have projects that help e-mobility get further. We think, well, mainly in the field of charging infrastructure, this is an important point for the Dutch government because we are a front runner in charging infrastructure. And for us, it played directly an important role because from the start on, we made sure that you can charge your vehicle at any charging pole from any company with one card. We call this interoperability. And this means that all companies have to be connected. We do this using an open protocol. It's called OCPI. And for the Netherlands, we strongly promote that we should always use open protocols because open means that any company can join in and there are no costs for using it. And so we think this should be the kind of standardization we're looking at in the European Union, but also beyond. We cooperate with countries worldwide in several international bodies. In these bodies we share knowledge and we set a political agenda as well, because if we together we say that e-mobility is important, then it will stimulate the take-up of e-mobility. And for example, the Netherlands is part of the Electric Vehicle Initiative, multi-government organization, and we share knowledge. We make together we make publications, and they also started a campaign. It's called the EV 30 at 30 campaign, and the aim is to have 30% new vehicle sales electric in 2030, and this is worldwide. And well, in the Netherlands we hope to achieve this a bit earlier because we have set the goal of 100% zero-emission passenger cars in 2030.